Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Hey guys, welcome. If you're tuning in, come on in. Slowly waiting for everybody to arrive. I tried to schedule the Facebook Live, but I guess I hit the wrong button. So anyway, hop on over here if you guys can see me or hear me, find me. I'll try to, you can just watch the replay, I guess. I don't know. I've got a couple of questions that people have been sending me, and I want to go ahead and address these and get the ball rolling. Hey, Nicole, welcome. Go ahead and share it and invite everybody else because the scheduled post isn't working out for some reason. So anyway, I'm just trying to get comfortable here. How's the lighting? I feel like it's dark. Oh, well, whatever. Hey. Okay, so Thanksgiving is next week. Oh my gosh, and I haven't even shopped yet. I haven't even got my groceries yet. I'm anxious. I've got family coming and possibly some friends coming. Don't worry, it's not that crazy. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So if you're stressed out, give a like. We're going to address those stresses from your dog's perspective, okay? As far as shopping goes and all the other stresses of dealing with family, sorry, I can't help you there. You'll have to figure that out. Today, we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts and woes. What are you not looking forward to with the holidays coming up, okay? I forgot to pull this up earlier. There it is. Oops. Okay. All right. The first question I'm going to answer is I got emailed from somebody else. I won't name who they are because they asked to remain anonymous. This is actually the question that I posted underneath my post, my original post about Thanksgiving with the dog and the turkey and all that stuff, okay? The question was, I fear that they'll eat something, my dogs will eat something toxic or a bone that could get lodged in their digestive tract. What are some healthy things that they can eat and other foods that they should avoid? So with Thanksgiving, there's turkey, there's ham, there's chicken. I don't know what's necessarily on your menu, your meat of choice. Typically, we do a turkey. I use a breast. I just get the turkey breast because we don't like dark meat. So I just cook a breast in the crock pot. Okay, got that from my mom. If she's watching, she should chime in on how she does that. Anyway, cook a breast in the crock pot. It's so much easier and simpler if you have a small family or if it's just you and your spouse, okay? Much more healthier. You don't have the dark meat. You don't have to worry about the stuffing. You don't have to worry about the turkey neck. Turkey neck? Hey guys, guess what? Turkey necks are awesome for dogs, okay? This is something that you can feed your dog. However, take it out of the turkey before you cook it, okay? Just like any other bones, don't cook the bone, okay? So addressing this person's question about what if a bone gets lodged in their stomach or intestines or even in their throat, guess what? If it's uncooked, meaning it's raw, it can be chewed and it won't splinter and it won't cause any kind of issues that way. Turkey necks especially are so brittle in any way, they're going to be broken up really easily by your dog chewing on them, okay? So avoid cooked bones. And just in general, avoid any cooked foods, really, because you're cooking all of the nutrients out of the actual food, okay? So if you're going to feed your dog any kind of scraps from Thanksgiving, make sure it is raw. Like if you're going to peel the potatoes or you're going to peel the carrots, go ahead and throw those in the dog's bowl. I bet he'll love it, okay? Thanks for everybody joining. I have this really awesome infographic on my phone. What I'll do is I will share this below in the comments, okay? So you guys can watch, or you can look at this in a little bit. But some things that are okay for dogs to eat, okay? Meats, obviously, whoa. Bananas, carrots, pumpkin, okay? Fish, some fruits like apples and pears and spinach and lettuce, okay? Things that they shouldn't eat, or they should eat only in moderation. The potatoes, tomatoes, pineapple, blueberries, broccoli, strawberries, watermelon, apples. You know, apples, my dogs love apples, so I cut them up. But the thing that you have to worry about is the seeds. And like with most fruits and nuts, it's the hard pits, okay? Your peaches, your nectarines. Avoid the pits. Don't feed your dog pits or seeds, okay? Those are the things that are toxic, just like the grapes, okay? We hear grapes are toxic for dogs. It's the grapes, okay? In large quantities, I should say. It's not recommended that you feed your dog nuts, period. My dogs love acorns. So whatever. Corn is not recommended, obviously. Okay, check your dog's food. You shouldn't probably be feeding your dog that type of a kibble if it has a ton of corn or corn gluten or any kind of things like that derived from a corn product. Shrimp, popcorn, and cherries. Again, the cherries are the pits, and popcorn is because of the little kernels that can get stuck, okay, and block their airways. Things that they should not eat: walnuts. Okay, walnuts are toxic. They should never, ever, ever, ever eat walnuts. And if you have any fears about nuts in general, just don't feed them nuts, okay? Don't intentionally feed them nuts. And this is kind of a no-brainer: alcohol, okay? Don't feed your dog alcohol or let them drink alcohol, okay? That's just silly. It's silly for humans to do it, and it's definitely silly for animals to do it, okay? Your nightshades, so like onions. Garlic is questionable, okay? This has garlic on the never ever feed your dog list. Garlic can actually help with inflammation, but again, moderation, okay, guys? All right, so hopefully that'll give you a good enough list. But again, the turkey neck is an awesome, awesome supplement for your dog when you, if you guys don't use it for your turkey and you just want to throw it away, guess what? Give it to your dog, but pull it out before you cook it, okay? Excuse me. All right. Welcome, guys. We've got Nicole, Lori, Talvard, Terry, and Heather. Welcome, guys. Okay. Next question. This is for Sarah. She commented on the previous post about her dog, an older dog that has an issue with company coming over. And she says here, I have company coming for Thanksgiving. My dog is 10 years old now, but the last time we had company, he started freaking out and peed in the guest room repeatedly. He has never done this before, and I am scared it will happen again. That's a very valid concern, especially with an older dog. I would say this, Sarah. Probably the best thing for your dog, with him being 10 years old, he's already a senior, okay? He's probably overwhelmed by all the noise, by all the movement and chaos and everything. I would say probably the best place for him is either in his crate or put into a quiet, dark room with his favorite blanket or a favorite toy. Give him that turkey neck. And then cover, if he's going to be in a crate, especially a wire crate, I'd cover it with a blanket or a towel or something like that, just to make it more of a den feel. If you have a vinyl crate, like the airline crate, you don't necessarily need to cover it. But you might want to turn on the radio or the TV, have some sort of white noise going on, just so that he's not freaking out, okay? And I say crate him, or put him into a room, maybe like a laundry room or something like that, where if he does mess and pee, it's easy to clean up. He's not wandering around the house free and freaked out. And keep this in mind. Dogs that have freedom, with freedom comes responsibility, okay? Especially young dogs and older dogs, that responsibility to be good can be overwhelming, okay? So with your older dog, as he's dealing with this stress, maybe he's dealing with hearing loss right now. Who knows? I don't know what he's going through medically, but it would probably be best if you do create some sort of a den, a quiet area for him to just go and relax and chill and not worry about guests. Now, obviously, if you have guests that are going to be staying overnight and that are going to be staying the weekend, then it's a little bit tougher. What I would suggest is keep him in his crate, or have a quiet area where nobody's allowed. Nobody's allowed to go in there, okay? I want them to understand that, hey, this is Fido's place and he needs this quiet time, okay? So the crate is probably the easiest way to do that, because if you're going to have guests in your home, they're probably going to need to use the laundry. They're going to need to use the bathroom, unless you have a spare bathroom or a spare room where he's not going to be molested, okay? Crate him, and then when he does need to go outside, put him on a leash. This isn't to control him. This is to guide him and show him where to go with all of this chaos and all of these people coming in, okay? Put him on a leash and guide him through the house to the back door, or wherever you take him outside to go to the bathroom, okay? Hopefully that'll help. And if you have any more questions, go ahead and post below, or you can message us and contact us at our website, bakersacrescanineacademy.com. Thank you so much for that really awesome question. And it's one of those tricky situations, but I'm sure it's pretty common for a lot of people right now in this time of year with all the holidays. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to answer a live question here. Or I don't know if this is necessarily a question, Lori, but I have a 6-month-old German Shepherd mix, and he reacts to guests coming into the house by barking. We have lots of guests coming over. Not sure what is the best way to handle this with him. Ooh, good one. Because this kind of segues with, or it's pretty similar to another question that somebody asked me. They have kind of a similar situation to what Sarah had, as well as what you have, Lori. This person, Cynthia, she said that I'm looking for someone to help me with my dog's aggression issues. He's a completely different dog out in public, and he's very well behaved, and he gets along great with people and when he's out in public, okay? But at home, it's a completely different story. I just can't get him to be okay with when someone knocks on the door or visits. I have to lock him in a room or put him in his crate. So it kind of sounds like the similar situation, Lori, when you have guests coming into your home, or somebody just even knocking at the door, the dog goes nuts, goes ballistic, gets aggressive, whatever. Okay. To answer your question, Lori and Cynthia, the best thing to do, yes, the crate, but let's take it one step further. Okay. What if instead of putting your dog in the crate and putting him away and just ignoring him, we address the issue, okay? So what you're going to do is what I suggested with Sarah's dog on the leash. Put your dog on a leash, yes, in the house, okay? On a leash. Put him over in the corner, okay? Put him in a spot where he can see the doorway, but you need to move him back far enough away from the door, because this is the thing. The closer a dog gets to the object of their obsession, the more power they have, or the more power they think they have. The more obsessed they get, the more noisy they get, okay? So you want to space them away from that object of their obsession or their anxiousness or whatever it is. Space them away from that. Put them further back and then see what happens. You can use your leash to tether him back if you need to, but what I want you to do is teach your dog place, okay? Place just means go to this spot, preferably on an object, whether it's a dog bed or a rug or a blanket or a doormat, something that has a defining edge that the dog can go to, and the dog knows that those boundaries are required for him to just stay there. So place means go to that spot and stay there until you're released. Okay, it could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be during mealtime, it could be when our guests are visiting and playing canasta. I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. You've taught your dog to go to this spot and stay there. That's his home base. Okay, and for those of you that are going to be having children coming, young kids especially, teach them that the dog's place is home base in the game of tag. Okay, I love using this analogy because kids get it. They understand it really quick. Okay, teach your dog place that this is their spot. No, it's not a timeout, but it's a spot where they can feel comfortable if they get stressed out. Okay, so Sarah, this might be something that you could eventually move towards, where your older dog, your senior dog, might feel comfortable being with the group of people, but not comfortable with them invading his space. Okay, so, but I want you to start with this, and remember this mantra. Okay, crate, place, tether, then free. Okay, crate, place, tether, free. Too many of our dogs, especially at this time of year, we want to give our dogs freedom, right? Because we love them. But again, what did I say earlier about with freedom comes responsibility? Responsibility can be very stressful, okay? Especially for a dog who gets overwhelmed really easily, especially when there's noise, chaos, people running back and forth, there's food, all sorts of things, okay? I want you to use your crate. If the dog's doing awesome in the crate, then move to the place. If they're doing awesome on place, then they can graduate to tether. Tether means on a leash, either tied to you or they can be dragging the leash, okay? If they've graduated to that point where they can be trusted and they understand what the rules are, okay? No jumping on people, no barking, no lunging, no stealing food, etc., etc., etc. Okay, you get it. You get the point. And then ultimately the goal is when they're mature enough, when they're old enough, or when they've not necessarily those things, but not just when they're old enough or when they're mature enough, but this is the key. When the dog understands and they have the skill, okay? This is a skill you're teaching your dog. You're teaching your dog and training your dog to be social. Not to be friendly with every single person, but to just coexist, okay? Maybe Sarah, your dog, and Cynthia, your dog, and Lori, your dogs are not quite to that point where they can be social. They're not equipped to have the skills to know what to do in those situations. Does that make sense? So teach them through the crate, place, tether, free method, okay? And you'll see, and this is going to happen over weeks, months, even maybe a year or two, okay? Wait until your dogs fully understand what the concept is, okay? But you need to do this every single day, just for 2 to 3 minutes a day, okay? Incorporate it into your day. If you have any more questions about that and anything that I mentioned before might have been confusing, please comment below again and I'll try to clarify. Okay, I'm going to go on to Marilyn. Marilyn has a 10-month-old puppy, adolescent, okay, past the puppy stage and into adolescence. and she is respectful with people, but she's relentless around other dogs, okay? And they have, and relentless, I mean she nips at their heels and their ears, and she's hurting them. She's a shepherd mix, and she's constantly pushing play too far with other dogs. And they're getting together for the holidays, okay? She and her sisters and her family are getting together for the holidays, and her other siblings have dogs, and she's concerned about them getting together, that her dog is going to cause issues with her sister's dogs, with her family's dogs, okay? And they've even gone so far as to ask her to not bring her dog to Thanksgiving. And it's a valid concern and a valid reason. But this is the answer, Maryland, teach your dog place. I know I already addressed this, but teaching your dog place is so crucial, because it not only teaches them to respect boundaries, but it teaches them to have self-control. I think that's what this little girl, your sheepadoodle, there we go. Your sheepadoodle is missing that aspect of being calm in a high octane situation, okay? She needs some self-control, all right? Teaching her place and impulse control is going to give her so much and take her far beyond what she would if you were just to put her in a crate, okay? If you were just to put her in a crate with the other dogs loose, sure, it's fair, because she has not learned to be calm and relaxed where the other dogs have. Maybe, I don't know what their situations are, but in that aspect it's fair, because only dogs that have learned to be respectful are allowed that much freedom, okay? But instead of crating her and avoiding the situation, get her out, get her on a leash, put her on place, tether her back if you need to, tie back, and really hold her accountable when she's being too nosy, okay? In holding her accountable, there needs to be some element of an interruption, or, for lack of a better term, punishment, okay? Punishment is so loosely used these days for all things negative, okay? So I like to use interruption. It means the same thing, you're doing the same thing, but interruption has little less of a negative connotation. I want you to interrupt, okay? And interrupt has a defining stopping point, okay? I don't want you to just go and tell your dog, no, shut up, blah, 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 you know, throw things at him and all this stuff, and jerk the leash and all that stuff. I have nothing wrong with those. I'm those methods, but interruption is just enough of a communication with your dog to get them to stop the behavior, okay? Once you've stopped the behavior and the dog turns and gets your attention, or you're getting your dog's attention, then you can direct them to what they should be doing, okay? So interrupt, get their attention, and then show them what they should be doing instead, okay? So Marilyn, with your girl, your sheepadoodle, I want you to do this, okay? It's going to be a little tricky, and don't be so afraid of this, okay? But get a towel, fold it into thirds, like a little dish towel, okay? Nothing extravagant, just a dish towel. Fold it into thirds, roll it nice and tight, okay? Then put a rubber band on either end to keep it nice and solid. Have that handy, and when your sheepadoodle goes and gets too rough with the other dog, all you're going to do is take that little towel and you're going to say, no, that's your interrupter. You're going to get the dog's attention by throwing that towel at your dog. If you hit it, oh well, it's a towel. It's not going to hurt, okay? What you're teaching her is that behavior is unacceptable, okay? Instigating and being a nuisance to the other dogs is not okay. She could start a fight, okay? So roll up that towel, toss it at her, say no, go grab the leash, because you should have her on a leash, right? Grab your leash, guide her, direct her back to where she should be, to her place, okay? Sounds like baby has a problem. Good thing daddy's on baby duty today. Okay, so if you have any questions about the towel thing, the towel method, let me know. For lack of a better word, other dog trainers have called it bonking, okay? If you have more questions about that, please message or send, contact me at the website. Again, that's bakersacrescanineacademy.com. I should put that in the description. Dang it. I'll remember that next time. Okay. All right. Let me go back to here to the comments section. Okay. Lori, you said it sounds very familiar. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is quite common. Okay. Heather says confidence building exercises. Yes. Teaching to ignore strangers on walks and at home and not to be bothered by them. P.S. You're awesome. Oh, thanks, Heather. Love all the information you give out. Lori, it sounds like I have the same problem, not with barking, just generally uncomfortable until they meet, and then he relaxes and is happy. I want to say somebody said that they didn't, oh, I think it was Cynthia. Yeah, Cynthia, you said that you put your dog in a crate or in the room, but he still barks and still continues on and on and on. What you want to do is also something that's going to be a little controversial, a lot like the bonking thing. But again, you're going for the interruption, attention, direction. Okay? So if your dog is carrying on and on and on and on and on in the crate or in the bedroom or in the laundry room or some other area of the house that you've put them away, or even on place, if you've put them on place and they're whining or they're barking or something like that, and you can do the bonker to interrupt. But if they're in a crate, you can also go over to the crate calmly, no frustration, no anger, no emotion coming from you, okay? Neutral. Go to the crate, stand over it and say, no. Slam the top of the crate, okay? I want it firm on the top of the crate because you want to startle and get their attention. That's the interruption, okay? Slam the top of the crate, say no, stand up straight. As soon as the dog looks at you, take a deep breath. Shh. The dog's going to look at you like, what? Okay? As soon as the dog is calm, you calmly back off and walk away. Okay? What did you do? You interrupted. You got the dog's attention. You disagreed with the behavior by slamming the top of the crate and telling them no. Okay? Then you brought them back down to a calmer level by taking a deep breath and relaxing yourself and then showing them what you wanted them to do. You want to lower their heart rate by you lowering your heart rate. Okay, that's what that deep breath is for. And then as soon as they're calm, you're telling them that they did good by just backing away and giving them space. Okay? So if your dog is carrying on and on and on in the crate, do that. Okay? Okay, Lori said, I don't think he does know what to do. He's very conflicted. He's barking, but also wants to give kisses. Yes. Okay, we'll work on the steps that you said. Thanks so much. Yep. Place is the goal. Very good. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I think I've answered pretty much everybody's goals and situations. Hey, Tara. Oh, thank you. I love you too. You need to do Facebook Live, girl. Okay. But yes, Thanksgiving, it can be stressful. It doesn't need to be. Okay. Crate, place, tether, free. Okay. Only free roaming with a dog that is understanding of the rules and has enough maturity and has the skill set. Okay. Though the dogs that are barking, the dogs that are excited and twitching and moving all over the place, it's just a sign that they don't have the right skills yet. Okay. They're not vicious. They're not mean. They're not aggressive. They're just not equipped yet to emotionally handle the situation. Oh, what question? Okay, Heather, what question or what confidence building exercises should I be doing? Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. So is it from a fear base or from anxious or just silly, crazy, crazy wild animal? Okay, it depends on that. A fearful dog, distance. Just give your dog distance. Let them have their own space. Okay, that's where that what was it? The home base. Remember, I talked about home base with dogs on place, teaching children, especially some adults, teaching children to avoid their place bed or their rug by saying, this is home base. Nobody's allowed to tag them, okay? Nobody's allowed to tag the dog or touch the dog or pet the dog or hug the dog or lay on the dog or even approach the dog, petting or nobody's even allowed to go up to the dog and make goo-goo eyes. Oh, puppy, I love you. Okay, none of that. Nobody's allowed to do that. Okay, this is home base. This is his safe spot. This is his Zen mat. Okay, leave him alone. Okay, let him be. Let him have his spot. Okay, I have a personal experience with this. I have a client that has 3 dogs. They have a dog a brand new puppy, okay, and which she's just adorable and loves everybody and wants to jump everything and gnaw on everything, and she's just typical puppy, okay. The other one is an older terrier heeler mix, and he loves people, but he hates other dogs, okay. And then the third one, this is the one I think, Heather, this might help you out, is they have a little chihuahua, an older chihuahua, and she is terrified of people, absolutely terrified. So much so that she does the fight, the stages of aggression: fight, flight, avoidance, submission, that Cesar Millan hammered into us. Fight, flight, avoidance, submission. She is at fight, okay? She's no longer at flight. She doesn't run and hide anymore. She's at fight. She's like, I have to attack you before you hurt me, okay? Just a tiny little chihuahua. So my first experience with this was when I showed up at their door. The first lesson, I was there to train the puppy, okay? Come in the door, and they had all the dogs crated, but this little chihuahua was just like, terrifying, okay? And we get the puppy out, and we're starting to work with the puppy, and their daughter forgot that she wasn't supposed to let the other dogs out. We were just working with the puppy. So this little chihuahua comes running out, and she's like, she's gonna come and bite me. And you know what I did? I just stood there, ignored her. And pretty soon she's like, well, this person isn't doing anything. They're not backing away. They're not terrified of me. They're not reaching towards me to say, hi, puppy. Okay. So what'd she do? She went over to the couch, which in her mind is her place. Okay. So she went over to the couch, laid down, curled up, and stayed there. And then we started working with the puppy, and I got treats out, and I was working with the puppy, getting the puppy to do sit in the focus drill and all sorts of fun things, and teaching her place. And I had the treats out, and the little chihuahua comes over, and she's like, hey, what you got there? And I just nonchalantly fed the puppy and just didn't even look out my peripheral vision, just handed the food to her, and she took it. Okay. So that can help, Heather, if you want to do some food work. But I think the biggest thing that's going to help is the fact that if you have a fearful dog that's acting out aggressively, that's barking or lunging or anything like that, ignore them. Just ignore them, flat out ignore them. And they're going to go and they're going to be like, well, this is kind of dumb. I'm not getting the reaction I usually get. This human clearly isn't afraid of me, and this human is not invading my space. So I gained a ton of brownie points. Okay. After the second visit with this family, this Chihuahua was sitting next to me. She still didn't want me to touch her. Okay. I tried to, I did the under the chin. Okay. This is key. Don't allow anybody to come up to your dog and go like this. Oh, puppy. Ah! No petting over the head. Okay. No petting over the head. Pet underneath the chin. Very gentle and soft and quiet. Okay. Very little eye contact. Very little movements. Just calm and collected. Just sit down on the floor and let the dog come to you. Okay. This is a little, not an acronym, what's the word? A little saying that I use is called invite, won't bite. If you're inviting the dog to you as opposed to you going into the dog's space, the dog's not going to bite. Okay? 9 times out of 10, the dog's not going to bite, especially if it's a little dog. You just sit on the floor, ignore the dog, let the dog come to you, and you can offer to let the dog smell or take a treat. So second visit, this Chihuahua is sitting next to me. She's not allowing me to pet her, and I don't need to pet her. Okay? She has her own personal space. I don't have to pet her. She can have her say on what I can and can't do to her. Okay? I'm not her owner. I'm a stranger. Yes, I'm a trainer, but I'm not there to train her. I'm there to train the puppy. Okay? So help your fearful dogs by being their advocate, meaning step between them. Don't just let anybody come up and approach them and pat them and stuff. If you have a ton of kids there and a lot of adults that don't get it, it is best if you just crate your dog. Okay? If you have people in your home that are going to come for the holidays that are not going to follow your rules or your dog's rules, just don't allow any interaction. None whatsoever. Okay? That's probably the best thing. And Heather, I need to go back and read all these comments. I hope that helped answer your question. It sounded like I was commenting on Lori's, but I have the same question. Okay. Yeah. Fear, cowering but crawling over to greet, and then growling if the stranger reaches to touch. So don't allow any interaction until that dog is approaching in a more confident way. Okay. Your dog is approaching from a fearful place where they're crouching, they're crawling, they're cowering. Don't touch them. Don't encourage any kind of petting or anything like that. Just ignore them. Your dog will be like, oh, well, if I normally did this and I got attention. No, teach your dog how to be more confident by ignoring those negative emotions. Okay? If your dog just kind of nonchalantly walks over, then reward your dog. Then offer the food. Then offer a pet or something like that. Okay? I don't let Peachable touch him anymore. It works, but I'd like to fix it overall as he growls at sounds outside the house too. Just growling in general, I would probably the most helpful thing is to get your dog out more often and to have as many people, guests, trustworthy and respectful guests as possible. Okay. No interactions, but you can definitely allow them to come into your home. Teach your dog place. I would just ignore the growling, because if you keep addressing it, it will just, he's growling for attention almost, okay, from what I'm understanding. I've been ignoring for a while and it hasn't gone away, which is why I feel stuck. Give those things a try, Heather. Yeah. You can also, let's see. See, fear-based anxiety or fear-based aggression are the things that take time. Okay? They take time, and they take a dog that needs trust and respect. Yeah, good. Keep doing what's going on, okay? And message me later. I want to find out how things are going, okay? Give this a try. Give this a try for about a month or two after the holidays, okay? Get through the holidays and then let me know, okay? Let's see. Awesome. It was a good question, though. Boy, I got some difficult stuff, guys. This was good. You're really stretching my abilities here. All right, guys. I think that's about it. So really quick, just to recap, what can you feed and what you shouldn't feed for Thanksgiving? Raw, okay? Uncooked, don't cook it, okay? Raw bones, you can feed the raw chicken bones, you can feed the raw turkey bones, you can feed the raw necks, turkey necks, okay? Or duck, if you're gonna have duck. I would avoid, if you're gonna do a ham, avoid the ham bone, okay? It's too hard, and besides pork, anything pig or pork based is really greasy and really gassy. Okay, so just avoid those things. Hey, Mom, welcome to the show. Add a couple of things about what was it? Oh, Mom, cooking a turkey in the crock pot. What's your quick little spiel recipe about how to do that? I think we had a couple of people interested in that. People were raising hands and thumbs up. Cooking a turkey in the crock pot. Okay. The biggest thing I want you guys to take from this is to have a pleasant and fun Thanksgiving with your dog and with the rest of your family. Okay. I'm going to be posting and sharing some tips on how to crate train, how to place, how to tether, practicing thresholds. Ooh, that's a good one. I should mention this really quick. Keeping your dog out of the kitchen, okay? Keep your dog out of the kitchen, because not only are they going to pick up food that's on the ground that they may or may not be able to digest properly. Celery, onions, a lot of those things go into our stuffings. Those are nightshades, and they're not really good for your dog, okay? If you're going to be having grapes or raisins in your stuffing, again, don't let your dogs into the kitchen, because if you drop something or spill something as you're cooking and stirring and mixing things together, your dog is going to be right there ready to grab that and clean up the floor like they normally do, okay? And they're going to eat something or ingest something that they shouldn't, okay? Teaching your dog to respect a threshold. Keep them outside the kitchen boundary, okay? If you have, like our house, we have a clear division. Like our kitchen is separate from the rest of the house. So there's a clear doorway, clear division. And another thing that helps if your dog can't respect a threshold is, guess what? Baby gates. Okay? Baby gates are awesome. Okay? And I highly recommend the Munchkin brand. You can buy them at Target. I think you can also get them from Amazon. So look for the Munchkin brand. We love those kinds because they're sturdy. How long have we had ours? 5 years? 4 years? And 5 years. I think we've had ours for 5 years. And they're still nice and strong and in place. They don't get loose from anything. You can bolt them to the wall if you want to. Then the thing about them, though, the best thing about them is that they have a door that's separate from the actual mechanism that locks them into place in the doorway. They have a door that unlatches and you just open it and swing it like that, okay? We have 4 of them. We have 2 that cut off the kitchen areas, the kitchen doorways, and then there's one from the living room into the hallway down to the bedrooms, and then there's one that's leading downstairs to our laundry room, okay? Actually, we have 5, but we don't use the 5th one anymore because the dogs have learned to respect that threshold and they don't need it anymore. So respecting the threshold, not only back to the kitchen, keeping your dogs out of the kitchen, there's 2 more points I want to make. Not only, well, one more point. There's 2 points total. One point is they're not going to be able to digest anything or snitch anything from the floor or the counter, okay, or the table. But also during meal prep, if you're chopping up stuff and you've got a sharp knife, I have a Wusthof knife. If anybody knows what Wusthof is, give me a thumbs up. I love my Wusthof knives. Okay? They're so much better than Cutco. Yeah. Sorry, Cutco. Too bad. If you're chopping up something, or if you're cooking up noodles, or you have a hot pot of water that you're going to be dumping out into the sink, you're moving around the kitchen and your dog is there, and your dog becomes a tripping hazard, just like your children, okay? My children know, don't stand with me in the kitchen, okay? You have to stand back away from me, otherwise I might trip, and I've got a sharp knife, or I've got this big huge pot of hot water or soup or whatever else I've got hot. You know, I've taken a pan out of the oven. I don't want to spill something on you or me and burn myself or you, okay, or cut you or stab you or somehow doing something dangerous like that, okay? So please keep your dogs out of the kitchen when you're prepping, when you're eating, okay? Our rule is this: after dinner is done, after all the meal prep is done, after we've eaten and the dishes are put away, then the dogs are free to come in and clean up, okay? Because at that point, we've already been able to scrounge around and pick up anything that is toxic, okay? So, you know, chocolate, avocado pits, peach pits, your nuts, any of those things, the raisins and the grapes, the onions, anything that they shouldn't be eating, okay? That's it, guys. Time to go spend some time with my family. Remember, be happy, have a fun Thanksgiving, and keep your dogs safe and keep yourself safe and your guests, okay? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to keep commenting below and share this with your friends and get them the help that they need this Thanksgiving. I will be doing, like I said, posts about how to do the crate training, how to do the place training, step-by-step things on a video, how to do that, okay? Happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your holidays. Bye-bye.